cautious not to make any sound so her mother wouldn't wake up. While urinating, she imagined herself at the Ministry of Guidance. She was excited about going to that castle, thrilled about wearing a chadur, acting chaste, pretending to be a virginal Muslim girl. And she thought of all the boys and girls she wrote poetry about, and thought about her mother. She hadn't told her mother that the first page would be a dedication note to her, for everything she had done, for all the encouragement and inspiration. Sogul wanted to weep with a strange joy, despite the fact that it was early in the morning and she felt groggy. She realised she was sitting on the toilet seat for nothing, just thinking about being published and making her hard-working mother proud. She pulled up her pants and looked in the mirror while she brushed her teeth. Her toothbrush moving in and out of her mouth felt like congealed vomit. She wished she could eat something before leaving the house, but she knew she couldn't eat at such an early hour. She could hardly open her mouth. She kept staring at her puffy, sleepy face in the mirror. Sogul knew everybody who considered her pretty did so only because they hadn't seen her mother. Everybody who saw her mother only called her Naz, cute, never pretty, and they were absolutely right. She thought of her age, 23, and her mother's 55, and thought the impossible thought. Sogul thought of her poem Age. Your age is raining on me, like cactus on bare skin. What did she even mean? She almost hoped her poetry would get rejected because it was bad and publishing it would be a disgrace. But they were still poems. It would make her mother happy. She went to her room, putting a black scarf on her head. Maqna'eh. The formal headscarf, something she used to wear at school and then at the university, something she hated. A black scarf that would just fit the head, sewn under the chin, covering the breasts and neck also. She then wore a long green manteau to look bad enough to be chaste. She looked in the mirror and realised she was happy. She avoided using any makeup to look even more chaste and innocent. She knew that, without it, her face looked like the face of a clueless 12-year-old. She was aware she could look innocent even when she wasn't. This was all a game, and she was going to win. Her mother knew people in the publishing industry, and she could go to the formidable ministry only because her mother had pulled strings. She was, after all, lucky. Sogul put on a quilted black jacket on top of her manteau to keep warm. And then she threw the chadur on her head, almost laughing in the mirror, suffocated by excitement. If this is the price of being published, I will pay it. It will be funny. She left their house in Vanach and walked to the main square in order to flag down a shared taxi. She didn't feel like driving through the morning traffic of Tehran. She wanted to snore happily in the taxi behind her enormous sunglasses, cut off from her surroundings. She just couldn't deal with the morning, the smoke, the people shouting about politics at 8 a.m. Her eyes were aching from lack of sleep. She wanted to be home and to find an excuse to enter her mother's bedroom and cuddle with her on the bed, under the pretext that it was cold. She was aware that her friends and classmates were mostly applying to continue their studies abroad. The US, the UK, Canada, Germany, France, and even Malaysia. Anywhere but here. Studying is an excuse to leave, her best friend Yasaman had said. But Sogul would never do that. She loved her country like a mother, loving her mentally disabled child. She liked Tehran, despite the pollution, religion, corruption, madness, and anger. Despite these things, or because of them, she usually wondered. It felt like being inside a piece of postmodern art. She loved Tehran, because that was where her father had died and where her mother lived. She would become successful in Tehran like her mother. She did not mind the compulsory hijab. Unlike many of her friends who constantly complained about it, she found it funny, ironic to wear a hijab, to cover your sins, to exchange numbers with cologne-scented boys while being undercover. It was like being a spy. It was a game, and she knew she would win, because she was clever, like her dead father and her lively mother. When she reached